Hi, welcome to Snoriezzz, a children's bedtime podcast hosted by your Snory godmothers. I'm Marcia Gay Harden, and I love sleep.
And I'm Natalie Peyton. I love sleep too. Thanks for joining us.
Time to settle in, snuggle up, put your head on the pillow, and get ready for your Snoriezzz bedtime ritual. First, we start with mindful talk. During our Snoriezzz bedtime ritual, mindful talk is a special time to take a moment to reflect on all the wonderful things that make you, well, you.
That's right, little dreamers. So let's get comfy, take a deep breath, and settle in for our mindful talk. We want you to remember that just like the characters in our stories, you are truly amazing and unique in your own special way.
Our words and thoughts have a big impact on how we feel. So let's take a moment to remind ourselves of some wonderful things about you and your day.
Kiddos, when you think about your day, we know you can find something that you did today that makes you feel proud. You participating in a bedtime ritual is certainly something to praise. Maybe you shared a smile or helped a friend, or even tried something new. Remember, every day has its own shining moments, even if they're sometimes hard to see.
That's right. Now, let's practice some affirmations together. An affirmation is like a little message we give ourselves to make us feel strong and positive.
Repeat after your Snory godmother, Marcia. Say it quietly or say it in your mind. But don't just say it, kiddos. Really feel it and experience the energy of the words.
I encourage my friends around me.
Encouraging your friends also inspires them to encourage you.
I am determined.
Being determined is a powerful thing. No one can stop you.
I find solutions to problems.
That's a fantastic one. Being solution-oriented will go a long way.
When I'm tired, I choose sleep.
Well done, kiddos, because here's your Snorri science tip. Did you know that human beings are the only species that stay up late to work or play? Be more like the animals. Our bodies and brains are designed to sleep when we're tired.
I sing because I'm joyful. I am joyful because I sing.
That's the way, little singer. Winnie the Pooh, too, loves to sing, making up his own songs, as you will hear in today's Snorri, in which Pooh goes visiting and gets into a tight place. The Snorri is almost here, kiddos, but first, we want to guide you through a brief grounding exercise so your mind can be open, your body can be still, and you can be ready to hear the Snorri. We do this by grounding with your surroundings and focusing on our senses. This grounding is all about you. So first, we want you to start by wrapping your arms around your body and giving yourself a big bear hug. How does that feel? Next, take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, notice where you feel your breath. Was it in your nose, your mouth, your belly, your chest? On your next inhale, notice what your breath sounds like. Is it like a gentle breeze in the park? Or maybe it sounds like a strong, powerful wind before a storm. Begin breathing normally, and with your eyes closed, think about what your thoughts look like. As you imagine your thoughts, whether big or small, happy or sad, you can gently guide them, kiddos. One way to do that is by shifting your thoughts to something that makes you very happy, like a smell. Let's think of that happy smell. Maybe it's the smell of your bedroom, or of grass after a fresh rain. It could be your favorite flowers, or maybe it's the smell of the dessert you love. Have you thought of one? Super. I'd like to smell that. Breathe in and out, and gently recall how your dinner tasted. Taking one last deep breath in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. Praise yourself for taking the time to get grounded and opening up your imagination so you can enjoy the Snorri.
Have you heard of the story Winnie the Pooh? Well, that's our story today. It was written by a man named A. Milne. We're going to read today the first chapter of Winnie the Pooh called In Which Pooh Goes Visiting and Gets into a Tight Place. Pooh Goes Visiting. Edward Bear, known to his friends as Winnie the Pooh, or Pooh for short, was walking through the forest one day, humming proudly to himself. He had made up a little hum that very morning as he was doing his stoutness exercises in front of the glass. Tra-la-la, tra-la-la, as he stretched up high as he could go, and then tra-la-la, tra-la-la, help, oh, as he tried to reach his toes. After breakfast, he'd said it over and over to himself until he had learned it by heart, and now he was humming it right through properly, and it went like this. Tra-la-la, 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 rum-tum-tiddle-lum-tum, tiddle-little, 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 rum-tum-tiddle-lum-tum. Well, he was humming this hum to himself and walking along gaily, wondering what everybody else was doing, when suddenly he came to a sandy bank, and in the bank was a large hole. "Ah, said Pooh, rum-tum-tiddle-lum-tum. Oh, if I know anything about anything, that hole means rabbit is inside, he said, and rabbit means company, he said. Oh, and company means food and listening to me humming and such like, rum-tum-tiddle-lum. So he bent down, put his head into the hole, and called out, Is anybody home? There was a sudden scuffling noise from inside the hole, and then silence. What I said was, Is anybody at home? Called out Pooh very loudly. No, said a voice, and then added, You needn't shout so loud. I heard you quite well the first time. Oh, bother, said Pooh. Isn't there anybody here at all? Nobody. Winnie the Pooh took his head out of the hole and thought for a minute. He thought to himself, There must be somebody there, because somebody must have said nobody. So he put his head back into the hole and said, Hello, Rabbit, isn't that you? Oh, no, said Rabbit, in a different sort of voice this time. But isn't that Rabbit's voice? Oh, I don't think so, said Rabbit. It isn't meant to be. Oh, said Pooh. He took his head out of the hole, and he had another think, and then he put it back in and said, Well, could you very kindly tell me where Rabbit is? He has gone to see his friend Pooh Bear, who's a great friend of his. But this is me, said Bear, very much surprised. What sort of me? Said Rabbit. Pooh Bear. Are you sure? Said Rabbit, still more surprised. Quite sure, said Pooh. Oh, well, then, come in. So Pooh pushed and pushed his way through the hole, and at last he got in. You were quite right, said Rabbit, looking at him all over. It is you. Glad to see you. Who did you think it was? Well, I wasn't sure. You know how it is in the forest. One can't have just anybody coming into one's house. One has to be careful. Well, what about a mouthful of something? Pooh always liked a little something to eat at 11 o'clock in the morning, and he was very glad to see Rabbit getting out the plates and the mugs. And when Rabbit said, honey or condensed milk with your bread, he was so excited that he said, both. And then, so as not to seem greedy, he added, "Oh, but don't bother about the bread, please." So Rabbit poured honey all over Pooh's plate, and for a very long time after that, Pooh said nothing. He just ate and ate and ate. And he licked his plate again and again, until at last, humming to himself in a rather sticky voice, he got up, shook Rabbit lovingly by the paw, and said that he must be going on. "Oh, must you?" said Rabbit politely. "Well," said Pooh, I could stay a little longer if it, if you..." And he tried very hard to look in the direction of the cupboard where Rabbit stored all of his food. "As a matter of fact," said Rabbit, "I was going out myself directly." "Oh, well then, I'll be going on. Goodbye." "Well, goodbye, if you're sure you won't have any more," said Rabbit. "Oh, is there any more?" asked Pooh quickly. Rabbit took the covers off all the dishes and said, "No, there wasn't." Oh, I thought not," said Pooh, nodding to himself. "Well, goodbye then, Rabbit. I must be going on." So he started to climb out of the hole. He pulled with his front paws, and he pushed with his back paws, and in a little while his nose was out in the open again, and then his ears, and then his front paws, and then his shoulders, and then Pooh got stuck. "Oh, help," said Pooh. I'd better go back." And he tried to push himself back, but it didn't work. "Oh, bother," said Pooh. "I shall have to go on." And he tried to push himself forward, but that also didn't work. "Oh, I can't do either," said Pooh. "Oh, help and bother." And he just hung there, stuck in the rabbit hole. Now, by this time, Rabbit wanted to go for a walk too, and finding the front door full, because it was full of Pooh Bear, he went out by the back door and came round to Pooh and looked at him. "Hello, are you stuck?" he asked. Oh, no," said Pooh carelessly, "just resting and thinking and humming to myself." "Here, give us a paw," said Rabbit. Pooh Bear stretched out a paw, and Rabbit pulled and pulled and pulled. "Ow!" cried Pooh. "You're hurting." "Oh, the fact is," said Rabbit, "you're stuck." "Oh, it all comes," said Pooh crossly, "of not having front doors big enough." "Oh, it all comes," said Rabbit sternly, "of eating too much. I thought at the time," said Rabbit, "only I didn't like to say anything," said Rabbit, "and I knew it wasn't me. I fit through my own front door," he said. Well, I shall go and fetch Christopher Robin." Christopher Robin lived at the other end of the forest, and when he came back with Rabbit and saw the front half of Pooh sticking out of the hole, he said, "Silly old bear," in such a loving voice that everyone felt quite hopeful again. I was just beginning to think," said Bear, sniffing slightly, "that Rabbit might never be able to use his front door again, and I should hate that," he said. "Oh, so should I," said Rabbit. "Use his front door again," said Christopher Robin. "Of course he'll use his front door again." "Good," said Rabbit. "If we can't pull you out, Pooh, we might push you back." Rabbit scratched his whiskers thoughtfully and pointed out that when once Pooh was pushed back, he was back, stuck in Rabbit's house. And of course, Rabbit said, nobody is more glad to see Pooh than he was. Still, there it was, Pooh would be in Rabbit's house, and some lived in trees, and some lived underground, and... "Oh, you mean I'd never get out?" said Pooh. "I mean," said Rabbit, "that having got so far," because Pooh was already halfway out of the hole, it seems a pity to waste it." Christopher Robin nodded. "Then there is only one thing to be done," he said. "We shall have to wait for you to get thin again." "Oh, how long does getting thin take?" asked Pooh anxiously. "Oh, about a week, I should think." "But I can't stay here for a week," said Pooh. "Oh, you can stay here, all right, silly old bear. It's getting you out which is so difficult." "We'll read to you," said Rabbit cheerfully, "and I hope it won't snow," he added. "And I say, old fellow, you're taking up a good deal of room in my house. Do you mind if I use your back legs as a towel horse? Because, I mean, there they are, doing nothing, and it would be very convenient just to hang the towels on them." "Oh, a week?" said Pooh gloomily. What about meals?" "Oh, I'm afraid no meals," said Christopher Robin, "because of getting thin quicker. But we will read to you." Bear began to sigh, and then found that he couldn't because he was so tightly stuck. And a tear rolled down his eye as he said, "Then would you read a sustaining book, such as would help and comfort a wedged bear in great tightness?" So for a week, Christopher Robin read that sort of book at the north end of Pooh, where his face was, and Rabbit hung his washing on the south end of Pooh, where his backside was, draping his towels on Pooh's legs, and in between, Pooh Bear felt himself getting slenderer and slenderer. And at the end of the week, Christopher Robin said, "Now!" So he took hold of Pooh's front paws, and Rabbit took hold of Christopher Robin and all of Rabbit's friends like Porcupine and Piglet and Gopher and many of Rabbit's relations. They all took hold of Rabbit, and then they all pulled together. And for a long time, Pooh only said, "Ow," and "Oh," "Ow," "Oh," "Ow," "Oh," "Ow," "Oh," and then, all of a sudden, he said, "Pop," just as if a cork were coming out of a bottle. And Christopher Robin and Rabbit and all of Rabbit's friends and relatives, they all pulled and pulled and pulled, and suddenly they went head over heels backwards, and on top of them came Winnie the Pooh, free. "Oh, oh, oh, oh." So with a nod of thanks to his friends, he went on with his walk through the forest, humming proudly to himself, "Tiddle-um, tiddle-um." But Christopher Robin looked after him lovingly and said to himself, "Oh, silly old bear." The end.
Now it's time to calm your body down. All you have to do is allow your body to relax and your mind to rest. Then your brain does all the work for you. Tonight's Calm Your Body Down is a visual relaxation. Let go of any inner talking in your mind and find yourself in the most restful place now for both your body and mind. Now let's imagine a steady flow of starlight traveling through your body, allowing it to relax every part of you. The starlight is warm and trickles up through your toes to your legs, over and around your knees, and the starlight fills up your body right through your hips. With each bit of starlight, your body is becoming more and more relaxed. And now let the starlight flood to your back and into your stomach. Imagine your starlight washes away any discomfort. It travels to your chest, upper back, your arms, and your hands. Notice a warm relief and stillness in your body and mind. Now the starlight travels through your neck, your throat, your head, and your hair. All you're doing in this moment is being still, listening, and letting this imaginary starlight flow through your body. Bring your awareness back to your body. Take a cleansing breath in through your nose and slowly breathe out through your mouth. And now you've calmed your whole body down on this beautiful night using your warm imaginary starlight to help you peacefully fall asleep. Now gently close your eyes and sleep in peace.
Sweet dreams, sleep tight, and know that everything's going to be all right.
you.